My name is Mark Scatrud, and I come from New Zealand, originally from America, and I manage a goat dairy on the South Island. My symptoms the first time was I woke up in the middle of the night and I noticed that my heart was beating erratically, wasn't normal, no pain, so I didn't think it was a heart attack. I had just run a race the week before and did really well, so didn't think my heart was in bad shape, but I knew that something was totally wrong. It was not beating right. About 5 years ago, I had my first atrial fibrillation episode, and it happened when I was back in America visiting. And so I went to an emergency department at the local hospital. They did the ECG, found that my heart was not working correctly. And then after 4 hours, it came right by itself. And then I got a bill for $3,200. And then I went back to New Zealand where I was living and working and live and work now. And over the last 5 years, the atrial fibrillation episodes have gotten more frequent. And I didn't want to go on medication, the beta blockers and the blood thinners the rest of my life as they normally would have you do, because I enjoy running and working out, and with beta blockers it's difficult to do that. So when the atrial fibrillation episodes got to be too often, I figured now is the time to do something about it. So I went online and did a search for medical tourism and filled out an application. I'm not sure, I think it was just a general application online, and that was sent around automatically to companies and hospitals. And then I got a response from a company in California and a hospital in Thailand. And so after communicating with both, I decided to go with the company in California. And so they are representatives of Fortis Hospital, and so they hooked me up with this hospital in Bangalore. The nice thing was, upon arriving at the airport, I had been flying and in transit for almost 24 hours since I had left home. And I was met at the hospital by a representative of the hospital here, so I didn't have to worry at all about how to get to the hospital in a strange city, new country for me, and so that was quite a relief. And then next day I met with the doctor, and very good doctor, felt like he was very competent, knew what he was doing, very professional, and so things proceeded from there. I was aware of what was going on during the ablation procedure, and the doctor was very good, was always asking me, am I okay? Would give me more pain medication if I needed it, no problem. And I'm sure I was out of it part of the time too, because when they wheeled me out and I saw the clock, I couldn't believe that about 6.5 hours had gone by. I think the one thing that impressed me the most being here was the nursing staff. They were just the best I'd ever had. I'd been in the hospital a number of times, and even at one point in my life had spent 5 weeks in a hospital after being hit by a car. But the sisters here were just first rate. I think the service here, both doctors, nursing, and all the staff here were excellent, and I would have no problem telling friends and family that if they need to get excellent, top-rate medical care, that it would be worth their while to find out what Fortis can help them with. The thing that sold me on Fortis hospitals from where I live in New Zealand was the fact they could give me U.S. equivalent or better health care at a price I could afford. I would have never been able to afford this if I lived in America, because I have no insurance. And this represents over a year's worth of my wages, which is okay. But so the cost here was foremost. Along with that is the fact that I was confident before I left New Zealand that I would get world-class health care. And upon arriving here and having spent the last 6 days here, I have gotten world-class health care. And that's because the doctors and all of the staff here have made it world-class, because they are world-class staff.